Today we're going to explore the educational world of advent calendars to see how we can play and learn through them. Advent calendars go way back in history. The first chocolate advent calendar was actually produced in 1958. But years before that, people will have simple cardboard windows that they will open to reveal a beautiful Christmassy picture to remind you that Christmas was near. These calendars were mainly used by religious families as part of a tradition to prepare for Christmas and to remember the values behind this date. But now they have been adopted into the modern world as a fun and even non-ideological way to keep count on how many days we have left until the holidays. But whatever your take is on Christmas and whether or not you incorporate religion into this activity, Advent calendars have many benefits and pedagogical uses that you can incorporate to help you stimulate your child's brain. At LaSalle the Petit Daycare, we respect and include everyone's beliefs and ideologies. Therefore, we focus mainly on the educational and pedagogical aspect of this calendar and use them as a learning tool for teaching pre-math and the concept of time while practicing social, fine motor, emotional, and language skills. Pre-math. So this could probably be considered as one of the most obvious educational aspects of the calendar, just because we can clearly see the numbers marked in the calendar. But the thing is that pre-math is not just about counting, right? It's not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are so many other aspects to it. One that we can work with so easily is one-to-one correspondence. It's one day, one surprise. And another thing will be number recognition. So we associate the spoken word with the symbol represented on the calendar. So the numbers, and we can actually use a chart, a numbers chart like this one I have here, just to help represent quantities better. So this is how 1 looks like, this is how 2 looks like, this is how 3 looks like, and then we just look for it in the calendar. Another pre-math aspect that we can work with the Advent calendar is sequences. So what goes first and what goes next. And the thing with Advent calendars is that the numbers are usually displayed in a random way. So we can take this as a learning opportunity and encourage children to follow the right sequence. And for that, we can use the same chart that I showed you before, just so that children keep track of that sequence. Like first is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7. And this also helps them, like I said, with quantities, right? How does 4 looks like? Okay, like this. So like that, you know that the next number is 4, and that's how it looks like. So then we find it, and then we open the little window. Now let's talk about time. Time is a very difficult concept to grasp as it is not concrete. We cannot really see it, only measure it with the tools that we humans have created, such as clocks and calendars. But the thing is that simply showing an average calendar to a child will probably not be enough for them to get the concept of time. I mean, they might not even be interested in learning it, right? So that's why we have to find ways to make it excited for them to learn it. And an Advent calendar might just be it. With this calendar, we can work on concepts like before and after. Which chocolate did you get yesterday? Which chocolate did you get today? We can even make a chart like this and have children draw the little candy that they got today or the one that they got yesterday. And like that, we add some fine motor skills and art to our activity. And we can even go into creating hypotheses and try to guess which chocolate will we get tomorrow. This will also trigger creative thinking. So you can turn your calendar and they usually show you what type of things you can find inside your calendar, so then children can guess what do they think they're gonna get. And if you have older children, you can even talk about probability and step it up in the cognitive department. So we can see that there's 8 round chocolates, 1 that is rectangular, and 2 bears. So what are we more likely to get? Is it more possible that we will get a rectangular or a bear? You know, you can even make a frequency chart if you want. Another thing that advent calendars are very good with is teaching distance in time. I mean, that is mainly why they were created, right? How many days we have until Christmas. So we say how many days we have until a specific date, or how many days have passed since we started the calendar. We can see which windows are open. This is my surprise for the day, so I'll keep that. So we can see which windows are already open. So those are the days that had passed already. And we can see the windows that are still closed. So those are the days that we still have left. To make it easier to visualize, we can have just an average calendar. And every time a child opens a window, they can just cross the day. Or another thing is that you can decide whether or not the children are gonna eat the surprise right away, or perhaps you wanna keep them all in a jar until the end of the week or the end of the month. And like that, you can simply just count the chocolates that you have inside, and like that, you know how many days have passed. When it comes to social development, an advent calendar can be a tool for problem solving and making agreements. Who will eat the next chocolate? How do we deal with this? Each one gets a turn to open the window and eat the chocolate, or do we keep them all in a jar and we eat them at the end of the month? Older children, they can help you come up with ideas and discuss what will be the best thing for everybody. And when it's younger children, it is important to keep it simple and give them only 2 options. And I mean, for sure, taking turns is part of social development here too, respecting that it's my friend's turn for opening the window and eating the chocolate, and I'm gonna be okay and happy for them. Taking turns also comes to the emotional department. Being able to wait for your turn requires a lot of self-control, especially for children. And even if you do this at home and only have 1 child and you are not interested in eating any chocolate at all, I mean, the fact that your child only gets to open 1 window and get 1 surprise per day also requires self-control. Now let's talk about fine motor. When it comes to small children, this skill practices itself just because the cardboard is a bit hard, and it does require some hand-eye coordination in order to assure that you're actually aiming for the right window. But if you still want to keep it challenging for your older children, you can try tweezers or any other tool that you think could be fun, and just have them open the window only with the tweezers. Like that, they can practice their pincer grasp and muscle strength. This activity is big in language development as children learn vocabulary related to time and numbers. But also, when you discuss problem solving, probability, and what you got before and after, you are encouraging them to practice their communication and their language skills. If you do choose that children will eat their surprise right away, you can ask them to describe the flavor, smell, and texture of whatever treat they just got. This will not only be a very fun sensory activity, but it will also challenge their cognitive and language skills as they try to represent sensations with words. And if you are still deciding on how to know who goes first and who goes next, you can do it in alphabetical order, and we have a chart like this, which will help children with letter recognition. And you know, like that, Aria goes first, and then Benjamin, and then at the end is Zara. At LaSalle the Petit Daycare, we believe that every child is unique, special, and important, and it is up to us, the educators, to come with new, creative, and fun ways to present knowledge to them, but also to adapt our activities in order to meet every child's different needs. This is why I was very happy to find this on sensorysun.org. It is a Braille calendar so that children with visual challenges can still participate in these activities. And if your child is not at the age of developmental stage to be familiar with the Braille system, you can use this idea from pathstoliteracy and focus on textures, sizes, consistencies, and even sounds. As you can see, there are many different calendars that you can buy or make yourself or with the help of your children. I mean, you can grab paperbacks like this and do something like this. You can take an over-the-door shoe storage like this one and decorate it like this, and then you have an advent calendar. Also, if your families or learning institutions ideologies are not comfortable with the concept of Christmas, then there are many other calendars that don't lead up to this date. And there's also a Hanukkah advent calendar, which is more daycare friendly than lighting up candles. And as we saw, you can make your own on any topic you might want. So we hope you liked the video and that you try some of these ideas at home. Let us know how it went, and thank you for watching.